Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil, Laird.
Robert Duell.
Jaime and Fuego here.
And we are here to do a review of a new movie that just released on Shudder this week as we record this, which we actually did a trailer reaction for, I think, last week or the week before. It is called
cringed.
The Beach House. And yeah, Fuego legitimately did, like, yeah, at one point. He went full retard at one point. That's the only time I could actually use that, because it's a reference to a specific movie. Yeah, I got a confirmation that I'm allowed to say that joke. Yeah, guys, this movie was, from the trailer, we had heard that it was going to be a cross between Sea Fever and Color Out of Space. And frankly, I think that is a relatively apt descriptor for the movie. Yeah. It's a slow burn. It's about a couple that goes to a family beach house, discovers that there's an older couple already there, unbeknownst to the son because of a lack of communication with him and the father that actually owns the beach house. So they decide to cohabitate during this vacation of sorts while there's some weirdness going on in the sea directly next to the beach house. And there is weirdness that comes as a result. I don't want to spoil anything, but that's the long and short of it. And while I liked this movie as my overall thoughts, if you guys don't mind me jumping in first, because fuck you. I enjoyed this more. You are stepping to me. While I enjoyed this movie more than Sea Fever, I do think that it suffered from pretentiosity, especially in the very end. I liked what it was trying to do. I thought the pods on the beach were interesting. I thought the hole in the bottom of the foot was appropriately gross, which is what made you squirm in the trailer. But I thought the end was, and maybe Fuego really liked this because it was so Kingian in its lack of satisfying ending to me. I think that's pretty much my overall thoughts on this one. Robert?
I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I didn't get as much from it.
You liked it, you didn't love it, but you wanted some more of it.
Well, that's the problem. Is I expected more.
Any cheerleaders out there, you're gonna appreciate that.
Rise above it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, because honestly, this movie had a lot more.
Peanut Gallery, shut up.
So it's like this movie. Honestly, it had a lot of potential. And it fell flat in more ways than I wanted it to. And actually, I'll be damn honest, I actually fell asleep halfway through this movie and woke up about 2 hours later and just finished the damn thing.
I can't really blame you.
Yeah, it was a very slow burn of a movie.
Indeed.
But
not quite as slow as Relic, but slow.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
But no, overall thoughts is it wasn't terrible, but it still was very lackluster in my opinion.
Yeah, man. There's a couple really cool bits in this movie. There's a couple very dope beats, and they're in the trailer. Aside from that, we've got very lackluster acting, which is one of my biggest issues with this movie. I didn't like our main girl, didn't like the boyfriend, the other two people, the older couple. I didn't really just think anybody was that sophisticated and just awesome with their acting. They were just kind of wooden, and I didn't really feel the necessary emotion. But those couple scenes of, Ankle especially, man. And there was another bit later in the film where, without spoiling stuff, they're basically
Lovecraftian-esque.
Trying to be, and
trying.
Yeah, and they're trying to determine what exactly is transpiring, and they're in another person's house, and they're listening to some radio stuff, and tuning down to an AM band because that's the only thing that they can pick up on. Aside from that, while there was some cool, I can see the Color Out of Space comparisons with some of the visual color correction of like the sky and the fog that is coming in, but really beyond that, there's maybe 20 minutes in these 85 of really awesome stuff, and everything else is just pure throwaway for me, which is really disappointing based on how it's been marketed.
No, literally, I would definitely say at least, definitely like that last third of the movie was probably the best, but at the same time, kind of the worst part of it.
Yeah, honestly, that's where it kind of started to lose me, while at the same time being more interesting than the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So I already covered what the movie was about. It's
Yeah.
a young couple going to a beach house that they thought they'd be alone in. Turns out the young guy's father, who owns the house, has already lent it out to a older couple for the weekend. And then weird stuff starts to happen along the beach, where there's like these weird microbes that are coming ashore. Bioluminescent. There you go.
Bioluminescent algae.
I mean, Jesus, that sounds way smarter than mine did, but whatever. I know what bioluminescent algae is.
Sorry.
Ugh. For the audience, why don't you tell them what
Okay, I was gonna say
bioluminescent algae
huge,
is? No, I'm just
huge
kidding.
pockets of it, though, man.
No,
I just know the name, goddammit!
Bioluminescent algae is algae that actually grows in the water that lights up on its own. So there is stuff that's drifting ashore that's like this blue light at night, and they're all like mystified by it. And
least
the
in the-
older couple, after for some reason imbibing in edible marijuana,
Yeah, well,
because
it's a
why not? She's dying of cancer.
Yeah.
What
dementia.
can it hurt?
It's
Well,
dementia.
Oh, it's dementia. I
Yeah,
didn't
she has
remember.
dementia and everything. And
And
that's
then also they're
She's
out
got
of wine. So
every
why not?
medication known to man in the
Yeah,
in
so
the
it's just a recipe
mirror.
disaster for this lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they decide to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Irresponsible.
needless to
husband.
say, weird shit happens when they all get high in the middle of this bioluminescent raid of microbes. So it gets weird. It gets definitely a little Lovecraftian, not as fun Lovecraftian as Underwater got, but definitely a little bit
Love That movie
Lovecraftian.
was so badass.
Yeah.
Water.
Not even as Lovecraftian in color as Color Out of Space, in my opinion.
No.
True.
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 But
which is how they're marketing.
It's
obviously.
again, it's better than Sea Fever, but not by very much to me. And your main actress,
So
I just
similar-
couldn't get over the fact of how round her face was the entire time. It was very strange to me. I apologize. I don't mean to be rude to anyone,
Those
but
little chubby
crushing
cheeks
your-
and
crushing
shit.
your-
if you ever
spirits, yeah.
wanted to have a dinner plate stare at you for an hour and a half, that is what you get in this movie.
God damn.
So,
Boom.
I'm sorry. I don't have any room to talk, but nonetheless, I couldn't. I'm just pointing out what I noticed.
I kind of get you on that. It was very.
So, what
No,
did you guys think of the acting? The acting
Yeah,
of the
the
dinner
acting-
plate was great, but nonetheless.
I thought she was okay. I mean, once it really like forged forward, she was the one who was like, "I'm the biology major, and so I know
Yeah.
what's really going on and the conveniences of that aspect." And then
That was
another-
super apparent.
Yeah. And then another thing we didn't touch upon was the fact that the subplot of the fact that her and the boyfriend are taking this trip is because their relationship is significantly strained with him dropping out of college and just trying to find his place and directionlessness and kind of dragging him down, dragging her down with him because, you know, he's like, hey, take a semester off. You know,
What do you
don't,
need grad
don't
school
study.
for?
Why? Why do you
Yeah.
need to better yourself?
Yeah.
Babe, come on.
That
You
was
know?
that was
Yeah.
so forced.
Yeah.
His character was trash, dude. His character was so bad, and the fact that, you know, the friend of his father's and his significant other, I didn't really, aside from her, whereas I didn't like her acting that much, and I can agree a little bit with your visual assessment of her.
She got a round face, y'all.
She was the best actor
Goddamn
of,
soup dish.
well, I mean, she was the best actor of the bunch, but even her performance felt just, I don't know, unrefined, and like she didn't really have the
knowledge-
sort of have the sort of chops that was necessary for the magnitude of what was going on story-wise around her.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't like she could do cry face fine, but she didn't bounce back from it. Like it wasn't a range.
Yeah.
It was like flummoxed fart look to like, you know, confused cry face.
Well, and also the toughness that they hint at, but then we don't. I don't
Well,
want
yeah,
to
she was
spoil,
supposed to
but,
be like
but we
our
don't
heroine
necessarily
kind of thing,
get
but-
to. She's supposed to be kind of our final girl.
She did put me to sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep.
I mean, without spoiling, don't be scared.
She is
Don't
heroin
be
in
scared.
that way.
Don't be scared.
Oh my
Don't
God.
be scared. If you've watched the movie
Oh
where
my
she's lying
God.
on the shore, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
You won't be.
Incredibly
You
disappointing.
certainly
Yeah,
won't
you'll
be.
be disappointed.
Don't be scared. It should be. Don't be pissed.
Yeah, don't be pissed.
Don't be pissed.
Yeah.
Poof.
We ran out of ideas.
Yeah,
ran
I
out
don't
of
know how to
ideas.
end this.
We ran out of ideas.
Fuck it.
And yet, there are
Offense.
probably people online saying what a masterpiece this is because of that ending.
Oh, I saw Squires.
It's just that kind of
Really?
thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
Squires,
that kind
Freddy
of
in
thing.
Space. He did an
Yeah.
ending explain.
Anyone that loved the
Just
Lighthouse
today.
that tells us what dumbasses we are
We
for not
liked
getting
it.
it
Yeah.
They're going to be the same people that say we just didn't get the beach house.
Why is art not
Anything
subjective?
with fucking house in it just goes over our heads, apparently.
Can't art be subjective? Can't we have personal opinions, guys?
Apparently
Is that
not.
really
Real
that
quick,
tough of a
I do
thing?
want to throw in on the actual graphics and the visuals.
Okay.
though.
Right.
So that was actually our
Good talk.
A-list-
All right, moving on. No,
You
I'm
go
just-
eat it,
Yeah,
Nick.
All right, go ahead.
Shut up, whore.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's a selling point for sure
It
in the
is,
marketing
yeah.
since
Like,
Shudder acquired this.
Yeah, like the graphics and everything, because it's pretty, for the most part, like it's a fair mix of CGI but practical, and our practical is our definite A+ star in this.
Ugh, amen.
Like,
All that.
the beach thing, stepping on it, and all of a sudden she has this damn
Yeah, that's
tapeworm in
the
her.
worst.
Yeah, that was.
When you got to use hot dog tongs
Oh yeah.
to pull something out of your foot, it's just like,
Ugh. Yeah, that
And
was
there's
actually
no way
pretty
it's
cringy.
not still in you, right?
Yeah, no, she got it all.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Sure, just that one worm.
Yeah, but
sure.
like even that, and
Yeah.
then we do have like like a 10-second little clip basically of a creature and everything from the next door house and everything.
Oh,
Oh.
the
air tanks.
basement
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
the
air
basement
tanks.
bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That-
That's in like the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
of the
We
movie.
watched so much.
That one's
I
good.
swear I'm crossing over some of this movie with that octopus episode of Twilight Zone season 2.
Which
I
is
swear
so
I'm
goddamn
crossing
good.
over some of
I
it.
love that
probably.
episode.
But like that, honestly, like
Oh,
hell,
eight.
I wanted to see more of these creatures. Like if
Yeah.
they were supposedly like, in a sense, like evasion of the body snatchers kind of overtaking people.
Yeah.
Where the hell was everybody?
And that was
we
with
saw
the-
3 people.
Yeah.
And that was with the lack of explanation in this was so frustrating in a lot of ways storyline wise. You know.
Yeah,
Because
very,
the,
very
because the
A24
opening
that
scene,
way.
the opening scene give you like basically shows you like,
Never gonna miss
oh,
an
this is
opportunity.
this is where they came from. But
Yeah.
it's basically
A24 tier ranking coming soon.
Not all of them. Fuck you. But yeah, so this movie it's weird. It's kind of a mixed bag, you guys. It's presented very well. It's made beautifully.
It is.
The cinematography is fantastic. The production design is okay. It's just a beach house, but it's presented like a beautiful movie, and I feel like Relic was the same for me. It is a wonderfully, expertly crafted and built film, but it just wasn't that interesting to me. And that's ultimately where I land on this one. So I don't know. Any other thoughts on it from you guys?
No, really, I expected more, and I think because I went in with a higher expectation of the Lovecraftian stuff from what they were presenting in the trailer, because we didn't get much of that, I definitely felt robbed from this movie.
Yeah.
That's your name.
No shit.
I felt myself from this
I felt
movie
myself.
for sure.
No, I'm honestly with you. And Shudder, since acquiring this from the festival circuit, has really pushed that hard, especially with the popularity of Color Out of Space and the research.
I can see why
Lovecraft
Shudder,
and stuff.
picked
It makes
this up.
sense, man. I mean, this isn't a bad movie though.
No.
Everybody.
No, and
You
effects
know?
wise, it's
It
pretty
has
good
a
too.
lot of merits.
Yeah.
This movie really does, even
Yeah.
if it's got its
It's just
detriments.
the story the story doesn't hold up to the effects and stuff that they're presenting. It's just not as interesting as everything you're actually looking at. That in and of itself is a problem for the movie.
Yeah, and also kind of the half-baked mythos of everything that's going on as
I
well,
love
which
that
they don't
movie.
really. Yeah, that was great, right? I don't even know nobody named Old Jane. Shit, I'm someone's bitch. Never been so thirsty in my entire life.
Wow, I derailed it big time right there. All right. So that's going to do it, I think, for our review of
Butternuts.
The Beach House, you guys. Let us know in the comments down below. Did you jump on this one on Shudder? If so, what did you think about it? Don't spoil anything for anyone that hasn't watched it. Has our review made you want to watch it or not? Do you avoid our kind of fence-sitting reviews where we're like, it's got this, but it's not great on this?
85 minutes. It's not that much.
It's not that much of an investment. Not that much of an investment. Doesn't mean you're not going to feel every minute of that 85 minutes, though. So just keep that in mind, too.
God
So
damn Skippy.
thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Robert Duell.
Gracias, Jaime, and Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.